But what we've got left here is the drops and reversers folder, right? So we've done all of the other folders last night, and today I'm doing an off-schedule stream just so we can, you know, cover this bit, cover what is a disabled track and how like I disable some stuff and why, and we'll do the mastering as well. I will show you the chain that I've used. Yeah, then we'll move on to the next segment of the stream. But with that being said, for those who don't know the song and just joining us, I'm gonna play the entirety of the song now so you guys know what we're working with. Here it is. Fantastic. So this is the entirety of the song. Um, and the segments we're gonna cover today is this orangey bit here. And these, as the folder shows, this is the drops and reversers. There isn't a lot going on in them in terms of mixing, I don't think. I mean, most of them are empty, really. I think, but the chunk of what we're gonna do is gonna be more on the like the snare bombs and the mastering and stuff. Let's just take it track by track and see. So I do when it's like my own music and I'm not doing covers, I do a lot of impacts and swells and risers and reversal sounds and all of that. So a lot of it comes from Gravity, the kit, the hit preset. So if you go here, hits, if you get on the full menu, the reason why I like this and I wish other libraries incorporate this is because you can each one of the keys is a sample that you can extend or shrink musically, and that is something that is very convenient opposed to samples that have hits where it's just print it as is and you cannot like change the length of it, right? And the cool thing that even the same sample, if you want to, I haven't done it here, but if you want to, you can use the same key and automate the key to get different length for the impact every single time. So let's go through what we've got here in the drops and reversers. I think on the new track, I actually gave this an acronym. I think RSDI, which is risers, swells, drops, and impacts. That's why I'm starting to call them RSDIs. So let's start with the first one, which is all of them are from Gravity, but you'll notice they're different hits each time because I'm triggering different keys. So this is the first one, right? Okay. And a lot of the time I would stack multiple, because what you can do if you write a chord, since every key is an impact, if you write a chord, you can get multiple impacts at the same time, so you can make your own type of impact. This is why I love Gravity hits. I mean, it's one of my favorite, hits sampler. And I love in a lot of sections when there's two hits back to back, like here, for example. It's like you get the first impact and then another impact after. It's like literally you're getting slapped in the face, and then the moment you haven't even recovered from the first slap, you get another one, right? So it's very trailer type of stuff, and this is how it sounds. See, like there is a reversal here, and there's another one here. So there's one when the snare hits, and there's one right after when the song comes back. I love that effect. I think there's another one here. No, it's actually just one. Let's see. Yes, it's actually two of them. So this is Gravity hit. So in terms of mixing, there's nothing going on this. I just left it as it is. Didn't even high pass it. I don't think I've even used Cubase's native EQ here. Yeah, nothing's used on this. Just leveling. And even the leveling, I've done it with a fader, right? Which as you guys know, normally I gain stage with a limiter or a clipper. But for this one, I've just done it with a fader. So yeah, you don't really need to do a lot of stuff for swells and impacts. So the next bit is from the library Devastator, and this is the preset. Not sure what do I refer by BO. now that I'm looking back at it, as such a strange preset name. But what is this? This is hits. So it's probably. So this is the library Devastator. I'm not sure which one I should have probably boom hits or something. I'm not sure. Or probably there's a preset with this name, but everything you're gonna hear from this channel is coming from Devastator. And as you can see, I mean, they're pretty much lining up with most, not all, but most of Gravity. So together they sound like, for example, this hit. If you put Gravity with it, right? It just adds more bigness and impact. Now, in terms of mixing, I've also done nothing to this. And I've just left the fader as it is. It even has the same volume as Gravity. Next, what we've got is Rise and Hits. We've got multiple samples. So the cool thing about the Rise and Hits is that you can still, just like with Gravity, you can actually choose a sample or a riser that you hit, an impact that you hit, that you choose, and then choose the length of it musically or per second. So that's the cool thing about Rise and Hits. So per second will help you, like if you're scoring games or films, and musically, obviously, if you're doing music. The only problem about it is that, and I'm not sure if you can do this, and maybe I'm missing the missing how to do it. But the problem with Rise and Hit is that you can only load one sample per instance. So, for example, if you let me just see here, Rise and Hit. So if you, for example, selected, let's say, one of these, so this is one sound, opposed to with Gravity, if you click on one of them, each key has a sound, and each key, you can then have one instance, and then just trigger different keys for different impacts. And each impact, you can choose the length of it. While with Rise and Hit, that same thing, you would have to load multiple instances. So so for each impact, I would have to load one instrument and assign a MIDI track for it, right? And then assign its length and all of that stuff. So this is the downside of Rise and Hit. The upside is that although it's an old library, it's a pretty old library, it still sounds really, really good. So the first one, we've got 32 beats one, which I think is happening. What's this? This is happening, okay, after the orchestral section is over and the chorus comes back, and it's also happening again right at the end of the song. So let's hear how this sounds by itself and then with the music. Let's hear it by itself first. And it seems like here, at the end of the song, I didn't add the hit. Interesting. So I've just added it as it is. Let's see how it sounds in the mix. So remember, this is how it sounds like. 1 second, did I move anything? No. This is how it sounds like by itself. All right, let's see now in the mix. So this is the orchestral section. So it's adding build up to this section. Obviously there are other stuff going on that we've covered yesterday, from like cymbal reversers to percussion rolls, but also we've got this, and you've also got a Gravity hit going on in this section as well, right? But this is a little bit closer to the impact. In terms of plugins, I think I've got a few things here. Okay, so let's see what we've got. I've got a keys limiter with a little bit of distortion actually, which is interesting. And I've got a Pro Q 3. Okay, high passing some sub frequencies and adding the rest up, right? So literally I've kind of like high pass everything and just as if I increase the volume there then after, right? With that shelf. And that's what's happening here, nothing else. Then we move to rise and hit 20 beats, and this is at the beginning of the song. So this is serving as literally the intro of the song. So let's see how it sounds like with the song. See, I kind of like muted it and unmuted it as I went, so you can hear it more. This one only has a keys limiter, the JW keys limiter, bus glue basically from JSC. We spoke about this a lot last stream in part 1, which you can find on YouTube. And there's a little bit of distortion, so it seems like I've kind of copied these into all of these rise and hit tracks, right? So I've copied all of them with this and probably readjusted the volume accordingly. The next one is the 32 beats, which is where is this playing? This is playing during the breakdown build up. So this is right. So with the music, sounds like this. We're gonna mute it and unmute it. Solo. Solo. Right, so that's how that sounds like. Another EQ, I've tamed a little bit of the high. It seems like maybe I was annoyed of this. Maybe it had a little bit too much brightness that was kind of piling up over the other effects that we've got in the breakdown build-up. And I've high passed half of the spectrum. And then you've got obviously JW limiter. This one's pushed to 50, right? So it's double the amount of distortion than the last one. All right, then we move to the rise and hit 4 beats. And this, as you can see, has been used quite often here to emphasize some of the other impacts, like this is emphasizing here, this one, here. Let's see how this one sounds. It could be either orchestral or hybrid. I can't remember. So let's see together. Okay, it's orchestral. So it's an orchestral riser. Okay, and you only have on it a limiter with 25% push, so similar to the other ones. So together they sound like, I think it's gonna be, you're gonna really have to listen to this sound. Okay, so I'm gonna play everything and unsolo. Right, it's literally the whoosh that happens because we've got more reversers happening here, right? So we've got the gravity and the devastator, but this one is giving the whoosh sound. That sound. Cool. Now this one, as we said, we only have JSC JW bus glue on it with the keys. So I'm using anything that is production, I normally use keys. And as you can see, this goes throughout the track. Then we've got 3 bass drops depending on the note. So we have bass drop A because this song is in drop A when it comes to the guitar tuning, and it's played when there is a 0 note impact, like here, right? And you've got here, right? It's a very short one actually, so. Right, and here. Right, so I don't think this has anything on it, but it's pretty leveled with just faders. 5 dB down, okay. Now we go to, excuse me, we go to drop A sharp. And by the way, these bass drops I'm generating through Sub Destroyer, the JSC plugin, which is, you don't know how it looks like. Let me show you. If Cubase decided to load. You probably cannot see what I'm controlling because it's behind the overlays, but let me just show you when I find it. So I think it's in other. Oh, it's actually a VSC instrument. It's not an effect. This one. This here. This is how I generate my bass drops. And if you check the song that we've done after this, we've streamed the entire song. Go check one of the videos when we did the bass drops and the production on the song after this. It's all on YouTube documented. You will see how to use this plugin. It's literally the plugin that I do my bass drop in. It's very easy and fast to work with. Right, so drop A sharp bass drops. I mean, it's just a bass drop. There's nothing to it. Right, so, and then you've got a drop D bass drop. This is for the chorus because the chorus starts on a D note. Right, so. Right, so again, there's nothing being processed here. Just as they are. Now, we go to snare bombs. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So that is the sound of the hit. And then as you can see, we've got a snare bomb normal and we've got a snare bomb loud. But all of them, both of them, will get triggered, not triggered, but will be after. So it'll be post the reverse snare bomb. So it seems like we need to listen to everything at once here. So this is gonna be reverse plus the normal snare bomb. Right? And when you play this with the snare, I'm just gonna put a snare. Right? This is how it sounds. Right? Okay, and then you've got a snare bomb loud. It's probably the same thing, but maybe more distorted and exaggerated. I cannot remember the difference. Yeah. And this is stuff that you play in a like a chuggy verse or on the breakdown, like here for example. Right, so the way you do this is I've got a reverb, the kilohertz reverb from Slate Digital, and then we've got some EQ to remove all of the high frequencies because we just want to make this not shimmery, and I want to make the snare sounds just wet, right? I don't want it to sound, I don't want to add more presence to the reverb. I just want the reverb to be literally in the background, giving like bigness, right? So anything that is adding presence to the reverb, I don't want. I just want the kind of like um, deep frequencies, right? So this is where I stopped when it came to low passing it. And then I've got a compressor, basically compressing the living hell out of it, right? Very high, very low threshold, and extreme ratio, fast attack, fast release. This is, by the way, these settings I learned from the Joey Sturgis snare bomb video, so it's not like I've created this. I tried to do like my own versions in my previous songs, and I just wanted to try the JST one, and because you know he does it a lot, um, I had to go with what he does because literally this sounds amazing. And then Skybox, which is literally the reverb he used in the tutorial. I might have just changed some of the stuff. I might have not. I can't remember the difference between this and that. But as you can see, there's a little bit like there's two reverbs going on, right? And then you've got this flanger, which I don't think I've used. Maybe I tried to make like an interesting snare bomb effect with it. I didn't use. And then another EQ is probably to tame some of the body of the snare and to high pass a lot of the stuff that came after the skybox. And then we've got a distortion, you know, regular Cubase distortion, that tube. I could have actually used this in the channel strip, but it is what it is. So that is what's on the snare bomb, and it's exactly the same setting on the snare bomb loud, in except if I was to take a guess, yeah, this is not loud because of the volume. This is actually loud. I think the room size is bigger. So let's see if there's any difference here. So size. Okay, so the kilohertz are the same. What about the skybox? So it's pretty much the same. Distortion, no, yeah, EQ is the same. It could be then, if that's the case, it could be that the tube have a higher volume. Oh yes, 100%. This one, the normal one is minus 17. The loud one is minus 7, so there's 10 dB extra. So it's just actually a matter of loudness from the distortion fader. And that would literally sum up all of the production tracks, right? So before we go to mastering, I just want to show you something that has to do with process. So disabled tracks is where I leave all of the MIDI stuff that I programmed when I was like writing the music. And the reason why I leave this is just in case I want to come back to it in the session or post the session. Like right now, for example, you know what I'm doing right now, unboxing. Like if for any reason I'm working on another song and I want to use something from here, maybe I want to learn how I've done like some sort of modulation or anything. I just keep it for documentation and archival purposes, really. But during working on the song, so when we move to mixing, I do this, I disable everything. So that is one purpose, in case I want to rebound something and I don't want to open a new session, so it will be on the same session. Or if I want to line up some stuff, like with a choir, where is it, staccato choir, like after I printed this, I lined up the audio. So maybe some of the stuff, but also for archival purposes for the future, right? So in case like I'm working on another song and I want something from this song, I've got everything here, right? So this is the disabled track section, and I put everything that I'm not using, even a reference track. Normally I put the reference track here as well, but for some reason I didn't. I'm gonna leave the session as is, but in the song that we've done last time, you've seen me put the reference track in the archival folder. And I've got FX channels, which is the reverb we spoke about yesterday. Group tracks, which are the masters. Remind me to talk about this automation here. And then nothing else really. Input, output, these are irrelevant. So let's move to mastering. So with mastering, we have everything going to the band master. I talk about this a million times on every stream. So the band master is receiving the guitars master, the bass master, and the drums master. All of this is going to the band master. Okay, and I think the snare reverb, if I'm not wrong, is also going to the band master. Yes. Okay. So that's all going to the bandmaster. Now on the bandmaster, there's nothing happening really. It's just a fader, right? So there's no glue, there's nothing, which is something that I'm gonna actually change in my next song. There are a few tricks that I've learned I might want to apply to this, but we'll see. And then orchestral master has a lot of processes, and what does this receive is brass, strings, the strings, brass, woodwinds, choir, and percussion. Right now, there are some stuff that I might, and from one song to another, I might change. Like for example, organs. I might most of the time put them with orchestral, but for some reason, this track I put it in production. Although I think it should have been in orchestral because it was layering the guitar solo. So I'm not sure why I haven't done that. But normally it goes to orchestral. Another thing is that here the where is it? The Arabic instruments and percussions. Normally this stuff should go to the orchestral, but in this case they went straight to the mix bus, which is very strange. I'm still shocked about this. But yeah, so that is what's going to the production master. Sorry, I keep on a cough, but then I yawn instead of coughing. I don't know why. All right, so the next thing is talking about what's happening in the production master. So the way I work, and I've talked about this a lot, is that I look at these masters, these three, right, as the competing parties in the song. And normally I treat the band as the protagonist, the orchestral master is the one below, and then the production is the least, right? And the way to explain this is that I set it up in a way that the band master is ducking the orchestral master, and then the band master is also ducking the production master. Now the orchestral master also ducks the production master, so this one's getting ducked by these two. But the orchestral master is only getting ducked by the band master. And this is how you can see the sense. So you've got the band being sent to black hole for some reason. That's strange. Actually sent a reverb to... That's very strange. Oh no, I think this is to black hole's track spacer. Okay, I see what's happening. And this is going to the production master track spacer, I think, and then it's also going to the orchestral track spacer. Okay, who's going to the multiband? Let me see. Okay, the guitar solo is going to the multiband. Okay. So only the guitar solo is triggering the multiband. Oh my god, what is wrong with me today? And as you can see, there's a lot of gain staging here happening. Fader adjustment. So let's open it up and see what we've got. So we've got track spacer. These are the settings I'm using, 5% ratio. And you can see if I'm gonna play the track, you will see how the band is ducking in the orchestra. Okay, so that's doing a lot of change so that the band has room. And then you've got and I think we actually paused the song at the right moment, because now the solo is going to come in, and you will see how the solo is ducking in the band. The orchestra. The solo is ducking in the orchestra. See, so this is working in harmony with the rest of the track, and then you've got Soothe on the regular setting. And then you've got Pro Q, which I didn't do anything. I just probably added it and didn't end up doing anything. And then multiband. I don't think this is triggered by anything. This is just like a multiband for the orchestra. Right, so this is how the orchestral master is mixed. Now we've got the production master, only has track spacer, and everything is ducking this guy. So the band and the orchestra. So this is how I'm gonna play a part where there is some. Let's play this one because the chorus is the busiest part. See that there is the solo is triggering it, and what else? Production. Yeah, the solo is triggering it, but nothing else. So it seems like I've ended up not sending the orchestra here. But one thing I keep getting distracted by is the way I've sent my my masters to the black hole. So the black hole is the reverb I'm using for the orchestra, and it seems like I have so this is the actual reverb. So this is not ducking, but the bandmaster is ducking the reverb, the track spacer on the reverb. This one here. It's really interesting to go back to your songs to see what you've done, because I think that I've done some really cool moves here I didn't do in the song that we've done together, Holy Orders. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. We've done some good stuff there as well, but I like the layout here actually. When we unpack Holy Orders when it's released, we'll go over it as well, and we'll see what we've got there. Maybe we'll compare the two, see which one of these methods we're gonna use from now on. But now we move to the mix bus. So the mix bus has everything is being summed to the mix bus. There is a little bit of a pre-gain going on here, so there's actually an increase, and this is to hit this FG Gray Steven Slate bus compressor. This is a trick obviously that everybody's using, you know, Joey, Nolly, everybody. If you watch, you know, mixing tutorials by the most modern metal mixers, you'll see that this is on everybody's bus, the FG Gray. So this is, I don't think it's reacting a lot. Let's nothing here at all. It's probably just as it is right now. I'm gonna go to the chorus, probably where it's acting the most, but we'll see. But it's probably just adding its character. it's acting a little bit to the snare, which is good. The one thing I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna drive it more in the future, but I'm gonna add the high pass filter on, right? So I'm gonna high pass a lot of like up to 50, maybe a little bit more to 60, just so I can use it more, right? So I can add more than 70%. Okay, and then this is going to Custom Series Equalizer by Steven Slate, and I'm just removing a little bit of 2K here, which probably was very annoying, because I remember when I mixed this track, there was a point right down the masters, right when I reached like the mastering, everything started to sound really pokey and, you know, very fatiguing, ear fatigue type of thing. So I had to do this this move here, and it fixed some of the stuff. And then you've got an SSL comp just hovering over it, and then you've got max bass. So these are literally Joey Sturgis / Nolly / other mixing engineers. I think I've seen even Rabia doing a tutorial of his mix, and he's got some of the stuff on. So everybody kind of like has most of these plugins in different orders, different rearrangement, but this is kind of like what works for me at the moment. So that's that. And then we've got a linear multiband. Right, and then after that you've got ozone, and this is where the elephant in the room and the trick that I've used that a lot of people might like. So what I've done is I got a reference track, which is Born of Osiris, Threat of Your Presence, I think. So I bought the track and I've downloaded it and I've put it here, right? And I just wanted to achieve a similar EQ curve. So what I've done is I've matched it, and I've seen some of the differences. So I've learned some of the differences, and I've moved my EQ around, and I've applied what I liked and disregarded what I didn't like. Like here, for example, there's a dip here I didn't like. I didn't do it. There is an increase here. I don't think I've done that as well. So no increase here. There is a low pass here or a low shelf here. Didn't do that. But what I've done is more on the high end type of stuff. So there's a massive increase here. I've obviously didn't go that extreme, so I've only added 2 dBs. So I've done the moves to kind of like see which one of these I like, and I've added like my own cue and my own stuff. And then this is kind of like what it sounds like as the end result. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually go to the chorus and remove this EQ to show you how it sounds without it. And then you've got an imager. By the way, just coming back to this, I think next time I might not add a high pass, high shelf. I might just add a Q here, because some of these frequencies I don't need, like 8K. Okay, I mean, maybe I tried to do that and this is why I settled on, I don't know. But this is how the song was released. And then you've got an imager. This is also like Joey Sturgis stuff, where we put the low frequency -100 so that it's all summed up in center in mono, and then the rest nothing really going on there. Exciter, tape, and this is like the amount we're adding on each band. So 0.5, 0.2, 0.2, 0.1. This is literally a ripoff from the Joey Sturgis mastering, videos. This is obviously where you kind of end the master. This is the final step, which is the maximizer, limiter, and this is just you kind of like have to set the threshold to a point where it matches the commercial loudness. Let's say Spotify, but without the normalization. So you go to Spotify, you remove the normalization, you listen to the song, compare it. Now, obviously, here I've got the reference track here, so I was listening to the reference, but just kind of compare it by ear and see. Obviously, you can also get an apps on your phone to measure the lofts and other loudness. You can also get a plugin. I think I have a free plugin. I really forgot what's it called. There's a plugin that you can put after this that can measure all of that for you. But after you do all of that, you just set it to the level you want. Obviously, everybody knows minus 0.3, and then you bounce, right? And then you bounce, and then that's the song. That's everything in the song. There's nothing after. I think the only thing that's after here is this is actually the plugin I was talking about. No, that's the waves one. There was a free plugin I used to use. I forgot what's it called. That was measuring like loudness. Anyway, but then after that you've got restream, which is basically this is just for streaming to you guys. So this is not a music plugin. This is just for streaming, so you guys can hear Cubase basically. But that's the song. That is the song.